Hi friends, welcome to Wafa Studies YouTube channel. This is part 23 in Azure Synapse Analytics playlist. This is actually continuation to previous video. In our previous video, we created a login and user in serverless SQL pool, right? So in this video, we are going to create a login and user in dedicated SQL pool in Azure Synapse Analytics. So I have already explained in my previous videos, right? What is login and user difference? Let me quickly recap. If this is a server, let's assume this is a SQL server, right? And if you want to enter this server, then you need to create something called login, which will have ID and password. Okay, and once you enter with this login inside your server, then inside the servers you may be having lot of databases, right? Let's assume this is database 1, database 2, like that. So if you want to enter into this particular database to see the data in any table or to create a view procedure, whatever maybe it is, if you want to do something, if you want to enter into the database, then there you should have something called user. So this user will be created based upon this login. So that this is all we discussed in our previous video, right? And also there is something called contained database users, where contained DB user. Okay, so where you won't create login, so login concept will not be there in the contained DB user. Only user concept will be there, but we haven't discussed that so far in our videos. We will discuss that in our future videos. Okay, so I hope you got a agenda, right? So now in this video we are going to discuss about how to create a login for a dedicated SQL pool first, and then how to create a user on top of that login in the dedicated SQL pool. Okay, so if you haven't watched previous videos, please I will encourage you to watch that. Okay, so this is almost similar to the previous video. So what you need to do, you need to first connect to the dedicated SQL pool. So right now I am under Synapse workspace overview page, and here if you see for the dedicated SQL pool, there is a endpoint URL. So this is the server, there your dedicated SQL pool databases can be created. So let me copy this, and then let me go to my SQL Server Management Studio, and let me use that dedicated SQL pool endpoint as a server name. And here you should use the admin ID and password to connect to with your dedicated SQL pool first. Why? Because if you have seen my past videos, I said when you go to Synapse workspace, when you go to properties menu, there you can see your admin IDs what get created during creation of your workspace, and this admin ID uses SQL authentication, and this Active Directory admin ID uses Active Directory authentication to enter into your Synapse SQL environments, be it maybe serverless SQL, be it maybe dedicated SQL. Okay, so now what I am doing, I am going to use this admin ID called Mahir with the SQL Server authentication to enter into my database or my dedicated SQL pool server. So let me type password here, and then let me click this remember, and let me hit this connect button to connect to my dedicated SQL pool server endpoint. So once you connect to dedicated server pool endpoint, if you go to security and at the server level, if you go to logins, you can see the same thing. See, this Mahir is a admin ID which is created as a login here. Okay, so now what I am going to discuss similar, but this is a admin ID, right? So usually in real time these admin IDs cannot be shared with the project team to do their development work or UAT testing work, right? So they will create a separate logins, and on top of that login they will create users, and for those users in the databases they will give certain permissions, right? So that the same thing we are going to do in this video, right? So let me do one thing. So let me open a new query window first by hitting this new query option here. So here you can closely observe, right? So it is connected with the dedicated SQL pool endpoint, and with this login ID it is connected, and it is connected with the master database. The same thing you can see here, it is connected to the master database. So now here we should write a query to create a login. So from GUI also you can create actually. So you can right click on this logins, new login, like that you can do, or you can write a script like this. So create login. Maybe I want to create a new login called Wafa, and I want to keep a password for this login as, so let me type this with password equals to maybe like this. So welcome at the rate 123. So this is the password I want to use for the login what I am trying to create with the name Wafa. So let me execute this. Oh sorry, I need to select the entire statement and execute. So let me hit this execute button now to create a login. So it is command successfully executed. Now at server level, if I refresh these logins, I should see Wafa login also available there. Okay, but technically speaking, now this login is available at server level. That means you can enter into server, but you cannot enter into any database. Okay, so if you want to enter into any database, you need from this login you need to create a user also on top of that particular database. So first let's expand this databases folder here, and let's see if there is any databases available here. So there are no databases available, right? So you can create a database first. So with the login ID itself, let me create a database here. So let me name it like a demo db, and let me hit execute this. So this is going to create a database for us. Okay, but see, if you closely read this error message, create database statement is not supported in Synapse Workspace. To create a SQL pool, use a Synapse portal or REST API. So I want to explicitly show this error. That is the reason I executed it. In case of dedicated SQL pool, you cannot create databases directly from the workspace here. So what you need to do, if you have seen my previous videos, from the Synapse workspace you can create a database. So let me do one thing. So let me go to my the Synapse workspace here. So this is my Synapse workspace. So here to create dedicated SQL pool databases, you need to go to this management tab under SQL pools. Let me hit this new button here, and here you can give a name for your dedicated SQL pool database. So I am going to name it like maybe like a dedicated SQL pool db. So this is the database name I want to use, and make sure you select this performance level less, so that the charges will be less. And also once you try done with your demo or development, keep a habit of pausing this dedicated SQL pool database. Okay, I have already said all this in my previous videos, right? So let me hit this create button. So this is going to create a dedicated SQL pool. So you can see the submit request of deployment is happening. So it will take 1 or 2 minutes to complete this request. So let's wait for the deployment to complete here. Okay, great. Our dedicated SQL pool created successful here. It almost took 5 minutes for me actually for the deployment to complete. So now let me go to my management studio here, and then let me refresh this databases here. See, I can see my dedicated SQL pool database now here. So once the dedicated SQL pool database is available, now what I need to do for this login, I should create a user inside this database. Then only that user can enter into this database, and that user can create any tables or whatever maybe it is. If I don't do that, then you can enter into server. But whenever you try to expand this database, whenever you try to work with database, it will throw you error. You have seen this in our last video, right? So let's create a database also, database user also. To create a database user, first I need to make sure to select this context to my database. So let me select this, because user has to be created inside the database. So let me execute my query in the database context in which I want to create a user. So my database context selected here properly. So now let's try to write a query. So create user, I am going to name my user also like Wafa from login Wafa. So on top of this login Wafa, I want to create a user called Wafa. Okay, so let me select this entire query, and let me hit this execute button to create this user. See, user get created. Now if I expand this database, and if I go to security under users folder, I will be seeing my username called Wafa there. See, so now that means with this username and with this login, I can enter into server, and then I can enter into this database as well. So but once you enter into database, from there if you want to do any kind of work, you need certain permissions. Maybe sometimes you can limit for a user to access only tables, or access only views, or access only certain views. So like that you can control whatever the role, whatever the permissions you want, you can assign from here on top of this user name. Okay, so let me go to presentation here. So this is what I discussed, right? So how to create a login, and then how to create a user on top of that particular login. Also one thing, if you want to, so this is all login and user uses SQL authentication to connect, right? So first let's do one thing. Let's try to open a new server, SQL Server Management Studio, and then let's try to connect with the new login whatever we created. So let's do that. So this is a new SQL Server Management Studio which I opened. If you see this is the one which connected with my admin ID. You can see it is connected with Mahir here. Now in the new SQL Server Management Studio, the same dedicated SQL pool endpoint, I am going to connect with a login called Wafa, and let me enter the password also here. 123. Let me hit this remember password, and let me click this connect button here. to connect to my dedicated SQL pool endpoint. So here we are getting this error. Why? Because if you closely observe, we created this login and user called Wafa for this dedicated SQL pool. So this user is actually available on the dedicated SQL pool database. But initially when you first time try to connect, it will directly try to connect to the master database. If you go to system databases, there is something called master database. So in case of dedicated SQL pool, uh, uh, when your user ID is directly going to connect with the master database, you see this kind of error. But it is not the case with the serverless SQL pool, right? In serverless SQL pool, you will not get this error. So to overcome, what we need to do is, here you need to go to these options, and here you need to say like explicitly, I want to connect using my login and user to this particular database, and then simply hit this connect button. So this time your connection will get successful, and you will be connected with a dedicated SQL pool endpoint, and also you will see your database in which your user is created. Great, we connected with our dedicated SQL pool endpoint, and if I expand databases, I should see my dedicated SQL pool database as well. And if I go to security inside this dedicated SQL pool database, and if I go to this users folder, I see Wafala user available also there. So let me open a new query window here, and now let's try to create a sample table or a simple table and see whether we will be able to create with this Wafa user or not. So ideally it should not allow. Why? Because if you remember, we only created a login and we created a user. For this user, we haven't given any permissions or roles to do any kind of task on the database, right? So that is the reason it should throw a error. So let's practically try and see that. So let me type like create table. So maybe TBL uh, employees table, and then I am going to a simple table. So I am going to say like maybe one column called ID, which is integer type, and then another column called name, maybe, which is going to be in var of 30, like that. Okay, so now let's try to execute this. See, if you see this is connected with my Wafa, right, and it is connected to this dedicated SQL pool database. So let me hit this execute button here and see whether it will create a table or not. You see, user does not have permission to perform this action on this particular database. Okay, so to overcome this, what we need to do, once you create a user using your admin ID, you try to give some permissions as well. So in this video, what I am going to do, maybe I am going to give this DB role to my user. This role has everything. Using this role, you can do anything. You can create any table, any view, you can delete or anything. You can play around with every object inside the database using the database owner role. Okay, so to grant this database owner role for your user, so this is the syntax. So we need to execute this system procedure and pass the role what you want and for which user you want that. So this is the script we have to use in case of dedicated SQL pool. But if you have seen my previous video, in case of serverless SQL pool, we used a different syntax there. So what we did there, we used alter alter role, then role name like DB owner, then add, then member, then we used our username. So this is the syntax we used in case of serverless SQL pool. But in case of dedicated SQL pool, this is how you should do that. So let's try to execute this query in the using my admin ID. So this is the admin ID context, right? Here I connected my dedicated server using my admin ID, right? So here let me type the same execute, then stored procedure name is sp add role member, right? Add role member. Then here you need to supply, okay, what role you want to add. DB underscore owner role I want, to whom you want to add. So I want to add this role for a user called Wafa. So let's try to execute this entire line to get a database owner role for our user called Wafa. So now let's go to another session where I connected with my Wafa username, and this time let's try to create a database and see whether we will be able to create my table. See, I am able to create my table. Now if I expand my tables under my database, I should see this TBL employees table as well. See, I was able to. So this is how you actually create a login and user and grant roles or permissions in case of dedicated SQL pool. For example, if you want to make sure your user, whatever you are created, if that user should be in a position to alter any user or alter any user's permission. So if you want to get such kind of permissions on top of your user ID, then you should use this script, grant alter any user to your user. So here in my case it is to Wafa, right? So if I execute this script, then Wafa user can be used to alter permissions for other users as well. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get the notification whenever I add videos. Thank you so much.